Yeah, look at me. I look like I just started last week.
Meeting is now live on YouTube. View stream on YouTube. Let me go check.
Awesome. Let me get in the chat and say some crazy things.
Shane might have to say something in the chat first to make it work.
Yeah, look at me. I look like I just started last week. All right. Who's got the echo?
Shane said, say something in the chat, like say hello.
I did. I typed hello.
Okay. Let me refresh it.
I saw it.
There it is. I saw hello, everyone.
Hooking and paramotoring.
Hello. 4 people watching it already. Oh, wait a minute. It's all of us.
Got my hopes up. Oh, geez. Here we go.
We got Mark McElroy in the chat.
Well,
He's not on the show. Kevin can fly. What's up, buddy?
Why don't you all answer me in the chat?
What chat?
Which one?
Yeah, which one? Well, Mr. Mark Elroy's got me thinking real hard. I asked him a question about, so when I pull my camper, I can't have the tailgate down on the bed of my truck to put the golf cart in it because it limits the turning radius where the tailgate will hit the camper. So I was working on something that I could pull the golf cart into the bed of the truck, go up a ramp, so it's almost like over the cab of the truck, but not necessarily over the cab of the truck. And then I will be able to shut the tailgate. Well, he's come up with an idea that you drive the golf cart in, and then your ramps on the back tire, you kind of, I guess, have to, this is what I'm working on. You have to kind of jack the back of the golf cart up on the ramps and then shut the tailgate and then lower the ramps and the golf cart to sit on the tailgate. So I'm in drawing processes right now. I haven't quite figured that part out yet, but he's got me working on it. I'm super excited about. JR Paramotor, hello. Will, Kevin, Brian Waller,
some dude named Kevin can fly. I remember that name around.
Kevin,
JR,
Mark. Oh my God. So Mark and Amy, my wife, and I went out to dinner last night right before the show. And they're like, hey, let's take a picture. So I pulled the toothpick out, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I ended up stabbing myself in the chin right here, which didn't seem like a big deal until today. Now it's all, I don't know if y'all can see it, but the thing is sore. Kent, hello, sir. How you doing?
We got a Daddy Dutch barbecue in here. Says, is your truck tailgate heated?
Yeah, that's Kent. He's one of the guys that came. He's come to my house and took over my kitchen, and we just had a great time. It was an awesome. He's a really, really good cook. One day I'll cook almost as good as him. And then go ahead.
I happen to be in a kitchen with a chef that reminded me of you. He's Cuban. His name is George. I just met him. He's on Facebook, big time paramotor guy. And we were over at Eric Fairwell's place eating, and he was in the kitchen cooking up, man, like 10 pounds of hamburger meat and all kind of tomatoes and peppers and some what's the bananas from the Caribbean?
Plantains. Yeah.
They were delicious. It was let me see if I can get this right. Picadillo was the name of the meal.
I don't know. We got Garcia, your Yankees Garcia, Jordan in the chat. Fly baby fly, PPG. Okay, so I'm gonna wait a little bit longer and get a couple more people in here, and then we'll go through. So Brian, do you see? Oh, how did I pull that up? Brian, you see Garcia's comment?
Yeah, but good to be on the show with you.
No, is that the one? He said, where's that? Right above Mark Elroy.
Platinos.
Yeah.
Platinos.
Was that what it was called?
I just remember them called plantains. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing it though. They're delicious. I love me some good cooking too, man. I like to eat.
Oh, me too. Although I don't actually eat that much. It looks like I do. I just drink a lot. So I got to save room, for the liquid diet. I'm actually going to be working on that here soon. I do believe. My wife just started a diet last week, and I don't know. I kind of feel like I need to start one too if she does it. So yeah, there are going to be some changes around here.
Guess we're all
Hopefully
going to be
not.
skinny over the next couple months.
I don't know if I'll be skinny, but I need to cut back on the drinky drink. I mean, it's never like I get like sloshed or anything, but my tolerance is so high now that I can drink 8 to 10 beers and go be perfectly fine. And then I get up and go to work the next day like it's no big deal. Most people will be falling over dead. I don't know. I'm not going to bring it up, but I've been drinking almost 6 years now, and I've gotten pretty good at it. I think I can probably count on one hand in the last almost 6 years that I haven't drank. So actually, when I went to school, I didn't drink at all because I didn't have time. I had to go home or go back to my camper, drink Pedialyte by the gallons, and then go to sleep. I didn't have time to drink anything other than electrolytes and water or Gatorade. All right.
Cheers. I'll drink to that. Cheers.
What are we drinking to? Pedialyte?
No, drinking a lot of beer.
Oh, I know.
I have the same problem, man. Get to where you can't exercise, you keep drinking that beer, you'll put on the weight pretty quick.
Yeah. I mean, I probably put on 30 pounds in the last 6 years, and I don't know.
I did that this year.
All my clothes still fit, but I just have a belly that hangs over now. I was always told if you have important tools, you put a shed over it. So I'm overcompensating because that tool
is a four stable barn going on there, huh?
For one mini horse.
Man.
John, Slow Days, what's going on? He says, "Hi, I'm Shane, and I'm not an alcoholic." No, I'm not an alcoholic. They're quitters. So
yeah, Bill was on last night's show.
Yeah. All right. Let me try this intro. Well, not an intro, but so tonight we're gonna be talking. Not last time, but the time before, I tried doing an actual cook while I did this and got overwhelmed and everything fell apart. And well, I won't take it down, but it was pretty embarrassing, just so you know. Nothing worked for me. So with that being said, I want to, we got 2 things in the chat. Let's see, hold on here. All right, so I got a screen share. And then, oh boy, here we go. Already coming up with so Sean, when I didn't pull it up in this little box here. Oh, I got to go to files. No, that's not it either. Man, I hate this, dude. All right, Sean. So when I go to screen share and it has me wanting to screen share.
You have to open up the file first on the computer.
Okay.
And then once you open it up, when you go to screen share, you should see it in one of the windows. And then make sure you hit the optimize for video. And if you want to listen to it, make sure you have the audio turned on too.
All right, hold on here. Oh man, you guys talk real quick while I'm over here confused. Oh, why is it? It does say Sean.
Brian's on mute.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who wants to talk? I do too much talking. Let's put somebody on the spot. Jay, you're up.
I wouldn't say it's too much talking.
It was a heat wave today.
Oh yeah, you'll love it.
To minus 18.
No, I think it was probably about maybe 10 or so degrees today, and it felt wonderful.
Above zero?
Yes.
Nice. Wow.
Oh my
I was
God.
complaining about 40 degrees in southern Alabama.
We were just watching the Honeycutt's newest video in Louisiana and the snow, and they took their wing out and a kayak and being pulled behind a truck, and then out in the field they went on behind the wing, pulling them around a big farm field. That was pretty funny.
I see you named this Sean is cool. That is awesome. You can name all your files Sean is cool. That's cool. What are you trying to do now, Shane?
I'm ready to rock and roll. I just want to set up the what we're doing, but I'm waiting for my daughter to get out of here. We have 2 refrigerators, and for some reason, since we got our flooring, we've had our flooring done. Everything went in this back fridge, and the floors are done. So why is not everything out of the fridge into the kitchen fridge? I don't know, but I will tell you, it's seems like everybody and their mom has to come in here, and by everybody's mom, I mean Kaylee's mom. But anyways, so let me go ahead and set up this. So whenever we go to fly-ins, we're limited on time when like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Well, actually not so much lunch because we don't really fly too much during the middle of the day. But when it comes to dinner time, when time you get done flying, you put your wing away and you put all your gear away. It's pretty late and we don't want to spend a lot of time cooking dinner. But I got an electric smoker. I smoked some chicken quarters. I started them at a little after 1 o'clock. Really didn't do much with them other than season them up, put them in the smoker, and we went flying, which we didn't actually. So in the video, I made it sound like we were going flying. We didn't actually fly this day. So just a correction on that. But we were supposed to go fly. And I even said we came back and flew. But it was just to make it seem like this is what we would do at a fly-in. So with that being said, I don't know how long these gaps are. Oh, look at that. That's a pretty face. That sign would not be that good without me.
Okay, so today, for what to cook at a fly-in, we're going to smoke some chicken quarters.
Oh,
Super simple. I got an electric smoker.
Hold
We're
on.
going to start them. It's about...
So it's still jumpy, right?
It wasn't too bad, and the audio was good.
After
Yeah, it was good.
in the smoker,
We can hear
and
it.
right before we get ready to fly tonight, we will do some rotating around because the electric smoker has heat source on one side, so one side's going to cook a little bit more than the other. So we'll just do some switching around. You coat them, and then we're going to go fly. You coat them with barbecue sauce, then we're going to go fly. When you come back, you're ready to go. So let's get these seasoned up. I'm just using Uncle Steve's competition bird powder, and yeah, nothing really hard about this.
If you guys have never used Uncle Steve's seasonings, the guy is phenomenal. The seasonings are great. It'll really make it'll make your dishes or your meats 100 times better. Just so you know.
Front and back. I'm just gonna set those over there.
And then hopefully I skip faster through this. Right.
Once I get all these seasoned up, we'll meet you out at the smoker.
Okay. So simple seasonings, no big
Okay,
deal.
we got them all seasoned up. The smoker. Ooh.
Oh, in between a major rainstorm too.
Gonna set these all in there.
What do we got that smoker set at?
It's coming. It's coming.
And once I get all these in there, we're just gonna close the door and we'll be back later. We're not gonna worry about it because the temperature is gonna be set on here. It's almost dropped that chicken. The temperature's already set, so there's really no need to come back and check on it other than just curiosity of how things are looking.
It's
So, we're gonna give you a couple
275.
hours in the smoker.
Unless I cut that out. It's
Tender,
275.
fall off the bone, if you will. And well, I'm just gonna throw that one right on top so I don't have to worry about another rack. All right, we'll be back.
When you smoke chicken, you almost always go with leg quarters.
Yes and no. These they're cheap. I think I bought 2 packs and they were like less than $3 a piece for six or so. I don't even know how many chicken quarters were in it. But yeah, I did at Swanee, Brian. I cooked chicken quarters there this exact same way in the exact same smoker. And I mean, you don't have to, like my charcoal smoker, I have to go out there and keep monitoring it, make sure it doesn't get hot or cold or what have you. This thing, you set it and just walk away. And this is what kind of meals I like to make when I go to flying, so I don't have to sit there and watch it while I'm in the air enjoying the greatest views you can see from a chair. So hanging from strings. So this is just what I like to do. At this point,
Okay, so
go ahead.
no, go ahead. Finish.
I was just going to say I had already turned these. I just pulled the racks out and spun them so that the left side went to the right side was on the left, put them back in there and shut the door. I'm going to make it seem like we just went, or we're about to go to fly, which we were planning on flying, but this rainstorm came in and just washed all that away. So I just went with the theme of we already are flying and we went flying. So we didn't really fly, but I did cook the chicken. What do you got, Eric?
Okay, so a couple things. When you're smoking the chickens, even though you stacked one on top of each other, that's okay?
Yeah, because it's not really you're going to have some what is it called? It's not going to be the skin isn't going to be as crisp where the chicken laid on top of the other chicken leg. But it's not really that big of a deal. I mean, if you were covering them, if you were double stacking them one on top of each other, then you're going to have soggy skin, and nobody wants to eat soggy chicken skin. But you'll see.
And then
go ahead.
And then on the chickens that are on the bottom, do they cook faster than the ones on top?
No, with this electric smoker, what I found, because the heating element is on the right of the screen right now at the bottom, so the heat just comes right up that side and then circulates around. It's not the whole bottom is not a heating element. It's literally just probably a 4x6 heating element, and it sticks right on that one side. So that's why I always spin my meat, pull the racks out and turn them just to keep everything somewhat even, because it is a little hotter on the right of the smoker than on the left side. All right, so here I'm just gonna baste with some Sweet Baby Ray's.
Simply add a little barbecue sauce to each one of these, and we're gonna go fly. Whew, I have to get that one now. Yeah, just a light glaze. Nope, nothing major. No big deal.
The skin's already tight right now.
I should have got more barbecue sauce.
That was a hint for my wife to go get me more barbecue sauce. She didn't.
Got those in there. Whoopsie. Everybody and their mom's coming out here, including Violet's mom.
Actually, see how the chicken's overlaid with the other one? So you're only talking that little white one spot right there will be a little bit softer skin than the rest of it.
So once we get these all glazed up, we're just going to close the lid, go fly, and then we will be back to enjoy dinner. So we'll see you guys after we get done flying. All right. It's really hot. Ooh, good Lord. All right. Bring that a little closer. So we're ready to eat after we get these off.
But seriously, as many times, hold on, let me hit pause. As many times you see me open the door, there's only one other time I open the door, and that was to spin the chicken on the racks. You set it and forget it. This is the greatest part about a smoker, especially an electric one. I mean, you can do hams, you can do pork butts, which all that's coming up here shortly. And I will be doing a sous vide cook as soon as and videotaping it, because I'm not going to try to do it live because it didn't work for me. But that will be coming up here shortly. So let's get back.
just say they're
See the skin's tight, then you flip it
Ready.
over, and
all off the bone, if you will. That's horrible. I know. So once we get these all inside, we'll make a finished plate and we'll be ready to eat. We'll be back in a second.
oh, right there was a perfect example of the chicken laying over top. I believe it's this one here,
And we'll
right
be
there.
ready to-
Oh crap! Stop.
Yep.
See how the chicken is discolored right there, or white?
Yeah.
That's where the fattest part of that top chicken was laying on top of it.
We'll be
All
back
right.
in a second.
Now,
Now I'm hungry.
somebody forgot to do a finished plate and a taste test. That would, oh, actually, I didn't forget to do a finished plate. I had to go back and make another plate. And then, so Amy made cauliflower and broccoli. And then this was onions and zucchini, or cucumbers and vinaigrette or something like that. I don't know. I didn't eat none of this because I don't eat cucumbers. But the chicken was phenomenal. It was so good that Mark didn't even bother eating the chicken. He ate everything but the chicken. And then the next day was like, I don't remember having chicken. And Amy goes, that's because you were talking. Krista threw your plate away. Like she, I guess Krista took his plate, like thought he was done or something. I don't know. But anyways, yeah. Okay, so I can stop screen share. That worked a lot better, just so you know.
Okay, so on that smoking, did you do it with time or did you do it with like a meat temperature thermometer?
I did it with a very simple method of I set it at 130 at 275 and I'll be back at dark. That's how I did it. It came out extremely moist. It was spot on. I didn't have any complaints. I did ask, for some feedback because I still do this with my family every night when I cook dinner, and I'm like, anything I can do better or worse or whatever, and they're like, no, everything's good. Yeah, well, Daddy Dutch is like, oh boy, Shane's answering cooking questions. He's an actual real cook, so, and he loves to bust on me. So, Jules, what's up? Craig, Couch, what's going on? Walter, you got any packages in the mail yet? It'll be there in about 6 months. But anyway, so that's just one meal that we could do during a fly-in. I'm actually hoping that some people in the chat could maybe in the comment maybe below give me an idea of what they can what they would like to see, maybe an easy dish to make during a fly-in that I could maybe copycat.
Yeah, I'm taking notes. Good, see.
You don't have to take notes, you just watch the video again.
Right there. See, you see that one there? I'm smoking. The most important note is at the bottom here. Let's see if you can. This stupid background.
Yeah, you can take the background out.
It's probably
Anyways,
the
it
recipe for
says-
Coca-Cola, right?
No, yeah, exactly. No, it says at the bottom it says note. It says camp next to Shane.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Camp
It's
with
not-
Shane.
It's not a bad thing to camp next to me, that's for sure.
Exactly.
So I am actually I think this weekend coming up, I'm camping. So I'm and it's just me and my wife. So I'm gonna have a little trouble making a whole pork butt. But I was gonna maybe sous vide a pork butt for 2 days in the sous vide machine and then take it out and then smoke it in an electric smoker. But then my wife and I will be having pork butt for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because it's a lot of food just for the two of us to eat. So I don't know. I might not do a pork butt this weekend. I'll have to wait till I do another. You know what I have? Hey, Kent, can you answer this in the chat for me, sir? Can I sous vide a skinless, boneless chicken breast? Because you're not supposed to do like poultry with skin on it in the sous vide machine because it doesn't come out very well. Hobo Nichols barbecue. Hello, sir. How you doing? John Wayne, late, but you're here. That's all that matters. Let's see. I thought Amy and Mark were going to come on, but I haven't seen them in the chat.
I think they're still driving.
Oh yeah, they left. Okay, so Mark was like, "I'm leaving at 4:30 in the morning." I was leaving late from work this morning, and Mark's pulling out of my driveway. 7:07. I was like, "Well, you're about 3 hours behind, bro." Just so you know.
I talked to them about lunchtime. They were talking about stopping by my place in Southern Alabama, and they were still pretty far east of Tallahassee at that point. So I think they were trying to get home, man. They said they got snow on the ground at home.
Yeah, they're rushing to get back before the ice and the snow coming. I guess Wednesday it's supposed to get real bad, so they're trying to get there before that.
Yeah, another snowstorm is coming through.
Yeah, Mark was trying to talk to Amy and say, "Well, we could just stay here." I'm like, "Yeah, the air conditioner in the camper's running. You don't have to worry about it." I've gotten probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 pictures from Amy talking about, or sending a picture of this temperature. It's already down in the 40s, low 40s. And then I get one of the 40s, and I'm like, "You can turn around, come back. It'll be all right. It'll still be 80 here today." Just trying to get them to come back. So anybody in the all right, so Daddy Dutch said I can do chicken breast in the sous vide machine, which I've never done that, so that actually would be pretty good. Pork loin, I've done a pork loin which came out unbelievable. So yeah, I will definitely, I'm gonna try a chicken breast.
You talk a lot about pork butts. Do you like pork butts or do you like beef butts better?
I think you like saying butts.
You like them beefy? You like beefy butts or porky butts?
If we're talking food,
I like big butts, and I cannot lie.
Yeah. If we're talking food, I actually prefer pork over beef when it comes to butts. And then I don't know. A beef butt, I don't know. It comes out stringy. You know what I mean? Like it's like a roast, if you will. I don't really care for it that much.
I mean, like in your sous vide or smoking or something like that. I mean,
I've never sous vide a pork. A beef butt. Only pork.
Tell me what sous vide is for somebody like me that doesn't know much about cooking.
Okay, so you you season up your meat and you vacuum seal it, and then you stick it in. What it is a water circulator. It keeps the temperature at whatever temperature you set it at.
Okay.
For example, if you go to a 5-star restaurant and you get a 2.5, 3 inch thick filet mignon, and you ask it to be cooked, let's say medium, how do they have that steak on your plate within 8 or 9 minutes? It's impossible to cook a steak that fast, that thick. What they do is they have them sitting in a sous vide machine, and they keep them at whatever temperature. And then they just pull them out. They pat them dry after they take them out of the vacuum seal, and they torch them to give them that little bark on the outside, that little sear look, and it goes on your plate. It takes no time at all. It's already cooked, and they can have them sit there for days because it's in a great temperature. And I mean, I've smoked I sous vide a pork butt for 48 hours before, and just came out delicious. Fell apart. Pulled the bone out with my hand, and then just tore the whole pork butt up with my fingertips. Worked out great.
Did you wash those fingertips first?
No, I scratched my dog, and then I ran my hands through the wife's hair, and then
that's probably the one I liked so much. Then it was delicious.
Yes, man, I washed my hands.
Eric is now scratching out. Do not go next to Shane while he's
Yeah, I'm changing my note right now.
Yeah, I am like so freaked out about if I watch people cook and I see them scratch their forehead and then touch food or what, I freak out. I can't eat it.
Yeah,
so I'm the same way. Like I have a one friend of ours. I love him to death, but he's always like touching the meat, licking his finger. I'm like, dude, I won't eat dinner. Like, stop touching the food. And he's like, I don't think about it. I'm like, well, you don't have to. I've already done it for you. I'm done. Like, we'll swing by the fast food on the way home and pick me up some food. I just kind of want to put everybody at ease when I'm cooking. So I make sure that I come out with like, I'm just drying my hands off from washing them, and I want everybody to be at ease. You know what I mean? And know that I'm trying to be as clean as possible. You're camping, you're outside, you're going to put stuff down on the table that's been outside. It's probably not the cleanest, but I'll put a napkin down or something just to make sure it's, you know, as sanitary as possible. I just saw somebody in the Mark H. You changed your name to PPG Trike Jockey. I was wondering what that. I seen that Trike Jockey go through. I was like, what is that? All right, I'll be right back. I got somebody at the door. I'll be right back. Brian, take care. Tell us about some of the food that you've cooked and at Vail, North Carolina, in your propane smoker.
Well, I'll skip Vail and I'll tell you about my Christmas hams. How about that?
That'll work.
So this is during a period of COVID, and my family has a tradition of cooking 25 to 30 hams every year and giving to the locals and some people that need it and some friends and family. I got some funny looks at the register when I was checking out. Let's see if I can get the volume just right. Is it too loud on that end?
I can't hear anything on my end.
You can't hear the audio?
No.
Did you check audio when you shared it?
Yeah. Hang on, let me all right.
Do I need to let you do something?
All right, so let me try that again. I got to do the checkbox thing.
Yeah, I skipped that.
Let's see. Share computer sound. I didn't have that one checked. All right, let's try that one more time.
How big is that smoker?
We had that custom built about 30 years ago. So I'd say about 4 feet by 4 feet. You can see from the image here, there's a shaft in the middle. So when you open it up, take the top shelf out, you can actually rotate it, put a whole hog on it. There's a firebox on the back side there and a big propane burner underneath. But we actually had it custom built on a trailer. All right, y'all let me know if the audio and video comes through this time.
Picking up some hams, got on the mask. Gentleman's helping me out, got some boxes for me. Gonna go ring them all up. Whoop, whoop. All right, check it out. We got hams, 22 of them. Got them shelves out of the refrigerator. Got them all stuffed in there. Whoop, whoop. It is December 21st, and we got the big smoker back out. Pretty excited about that. We got 22 of Cook's hams here. Picked them up at the local Piggly Wiggly. Nate, I appreciate talking with you there. This is how we cook them right here, man. All right, we got a good fire going. It's almost heated up. It's up to about 200 degrees. We got the water going.
And we normally
There's
go
a
about
propane
225 for about
torch
2.5 hours.
that's heating a big water reservoir to basically add a lot of moisture. You see down in there, probably about 40 gallons of water. About to open this bad boy up. Got all the hams on wrap. Time to put them on there.
That's playing around with a little time lapse here.
I do like that box though, just so you know.
Yeah. So there's a shot of the hams right there, man. They look great. And this was a period of COVID, so we wore masks and everything, and then people would come over, they would just grab one out of the ice chest, and then we went and delivered a few. Local preacher there, he normally gets about 6 and gives away to people he knows at the church that need them. So anyway, it's a good time, a family event, and just a good time to socialize with neighbors.
All of them are in ice chests. We put on masks, hand sanitizers, and wrapped them all up in tin foil and bagged them. Now all we have to do is just people to come by, open a cooler, grab a ham.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Make you hungry?
It does.
So I got a guy in the chat, Chef Johnny. He's an actual chef that at a college. He teaches how to barbecue and stuff. It's Texas style barbecue and cuisine. This guy's top notch. He's got a ton of videos and if you asked me to cook next to him, I would just pack my stuff up and leave. Just so you know, I wouldn't let him try none of my food. He's a really good cook. So I think the next video that I'm going to do is I'm going to sous vide 2 chicken breast. I've never done that before, and I'm kind of excited. I do like to experiment and try new things. Will Fly wanted to know about our camping and do I have an RV or do I use a tent? So, like 6 years ago, we bought a camper, a 33-foot bumper pool, as you Northerners call it. And we've always tent camped. Ever since my daughter was 2 years old, we've been tent camping at least once a year. But after my son passed, we wanted more time with our daughter, and we wanted more family time. So we bought a big camper, and we've been camping in that ever since. We go almost every other weekend camping. I mean, we live in Florida, so, you know, not to rub it into you guys up north, but we get to camp here year round, and I'm thankful for it. My daughter now is almost 22. She's working on her career, and she's always working, so we don't get to have her with us camping as much, but we camp all the time. And I do backpack camping, where a friend of mine and myself, we go into the woods, we carry in our food, we pull water from nearby lakes through filters, and we do overnight camping or a weekend. And we have a tent still, which I use for fly-ins if it's too far to pull my big camper, because I can't afford the fuel to pull my big camper out of state. So I use a tent. I think it's a 14-man tent, and yeah, it works great. I still to this day have no preference whether the camper or the tent when it comes to sleeping, as long as it's cool. It's got to be cool. I'm not sleeping in the heat in a tent. Not going to happen.
Yeah, Walter was explaining what is a bumper pull.
So it hooks to your it's a hitch on the back of your truck to your bumper, and it's just a travel trailer. It just hooks. It's like a trailer. You hook to your bumper and you pull it around.
As opposed to a fifth wheel.
Correct. Fifth wheel sitting in the bed of your truck. This actually hangs off the tail end of your truck on the bumper. Is that, I mean, how else would you explain that, Brian, to someone who doesn't know what a bumper pull is?
You got this little ball thing that goes in this square tube thing on the back of the truck. That's where you pull from, bumper pull.
That's actually true. It is
Some
a
people
round
call it
ball.
travel trailer too.
Yeah, it's a round ball that goes in a square hole.
Benson knows all about that. Look at Apollo 13.
Yeah, right. Oh,
so it's when the kangaroo, it's the same thing as the kangaroo hooked onto the trailer.
Walter,
I think will understand that a little better.
Yeah, Walter says bumper pull is the same as a tag along. So I believe that's, yes.
Yeah, true.
It's a vehicle that's following behind you and riding your bumper. How about that? It's tailgating you. So what do we have? Anybody have a meal they want to try having me cook that I could maybe do at a fly-in?
Chicken wings.
That's easy. That's on the grill. Those are lunchtime. Those are lunchtime when we're not flying. Start to charcoal grill up and go to town. Actually,
you ever dive off into seafood?
What's that?
You ever dive off into seafood much, like crab legs, shrimp, lobster?
I like shrimp, shark, and that's about it out of the water.
Really? All right.
I know. My son was the only one in this house that ever eat fish. I mean, and we all looked at him like he was something wrong with him, because none of us eat anything but, chicken, beef, and I like lamb, but nobody in the house will eat lamb.
How about Rocky Mountain oysters?
I've had those. They're not bad. A little salty. No, actually, they weren't bad. You know, I actually had scrambled eggs and hog brains, and let me tell you, that was an excellent meal. It was. At first, I was like, tell me what it is. And they're like, no, just eat it first. I'm like, no, you got to tell me what it is. I will promise you, I will try it, but I'm not eating it without knowing what it is. And they told me, and I ate it, and I went back for more. It was actually pretty good.
Eric,
We got some.
you can camp all you want next to him.
I'll make Jade some eggs, scrambled eggs, and be like, there's nothing else in it. No, I'm just kidding. I've never made it myself. I just had it.
I'll bring the eggs.
Yeah. I've never made brains before, hog brains, but I mean, I've had them and it was not bad at all.
So we got some feedback from down under in Australia. It says, tell Shane we call him a caravan in Kangaroo Land.
Well, caravan. See, that's so weird. We call a caravan something completely different. That's a whole bit like
it's like when you got multiple vehicles following each other, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good night, Chef Johnny. He's smoking 2 briskets, 2 pork butts tonight. And if you ever get a chance to go watch some of his cooks on his show, it's pretty good. And when you think of a cowboy cook that smokes meat and everything, when he comes on the screen, you're like, oh, that's Chef Johnny. It's like perfect. He's a Texan for real. Good guy though. All right, scallops.
Yeah, it looks like they're getting a little bit of cold weather over there in Texas.
Yeah, I think he said 9 degrees or -9. I can't remember. Is there a difference between 9 and -9?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Mark asked about scallops. No, I'm out. I've tried eating scallops. I live in Florida. I've tried everything: freshwater, saltwater. I will eat tuna out of a can, but it has to have like a ton of mayonnaise and mustard in it so that you can barely taste the tuna. But I just never.
Like shark, huh?
Yeah, I do like shark. Yeah, which, by the way, and Brian, you know Jason, the guy that I go flying with at the fly-ins. He's a boat captain, and he's really into the ocean life and stuff. When I told him I have eaten shark before, man, we had an 1.5-hour ride up to Vail, I believe it was, or it might have been Ohio for Dave Purden, but heard about how people eating shark is bad and it's bad for the environment. And I was like, dude, I had it a couple times. It was good. Can't tell you the last time I've eaten it, but I did like it. Oh, it was bad. He told me all about why you shouldn't eat sharks. I'm like, well, you tell them when I'm floating in the water not to eat Shane's because they're bad for you.
Well, all I know is 20 years ago, I walked down to the Gulf in Florida, and I cast a Zepco 808 in the water, and they kept stripping everything off we had. We finally got the biggest rod and reel we could buy, and the last night at midnight, we pulled in a 6-foot bull shark, and we were casting in 2.5 foot of water, and we were hooked.
The 808, is that the push button?
Yeah, man. This is freshwater, small freshwater gear for brim. Yeah.
Hey, at least I know my stuff about rods, rods and reels.
There's something
okay,
about
so Will Fly
wants
to know if you use liquid smoke.
I have never used it. I've seen it before in the stores. I've never used it. It's just too easy. Even on my gas grill, I will take I got a little metal bowl in there and I'll put wood chips in it. And as I'm heating up the grill, I'll put those wood chips in that metal bowl and I set it on over top of one of the burners and let it start smoldering before I put my chicken, pork, or whatever steak in there. Doesn't matter. And actually, Brian brought me some pecan, and I have whittled many pieces. Some pecan.
Okay.
Oh, pecan. Some pecan. I have whittled more of that wood in my gas grill just to get the smoke flavor. And when I don't use the which way is to say it right, pecan, my family's like, why doesn't this taste as good as last time? I'm like, because I didn't put no wood chips in there. And they're like, well, put wood chips in it. I'm like, all right, got it. Duly noted.
Yeah, so as far as the old seafood goes, when Jade and I were over in North Carolina, we went over to the Outer Banks. Awesome place. If anybody gets a chance to go out there, it's phenomenal. But anyways, everybody over there they call them blue crabs. And me growing up in Alaska, we always had king crab. And so you grew up liking crab. And I'm like, we got to try these blue crabs. Well, what they do is when the blue crabs go from saltwater to freshwater, they come out of their shell. And right when they come out of their shell, within minutes, you have to harvest them before their new shell starts growing and getting hard. And at that time is when they cook them. And so we went to the fish store. We told them, we want to try this blue crab. And they told us, actually, they sold us the what do you call it? What's that called, Jade? The powdery stuff you deep fry food in. I don't know what it's called.
Flour?
But anyway, so we got that. Yeah, flour. That sounds good. So we got that, took it back to our camper and heated up the oil. We went and we took these crabs, put them in there and deep fried them. And we pulled them out. And I'm not kidding you. They looked like giant 4-inch tarantulas when you got done cooking them. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. I tried. I couldn't do it. I broke a leg off and I told Jade I can't. Really wanted to, but I couldn't.
I tried snow crab before, snow crabs. So you got to remember, I met my wife 6 months after high school. So my girlfriend in high school, I took her out to dinner and she had snow crabs, and this girl wore these crabs out with the hammer. And I'm like, I am not working that hard for that little piece of meat. And I know. I can hear it. Come on, Brian. Don't let me down. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
I didn't know if we were PPG rated or what, man.
I'll never be monetized, so it's all good. But yeah, dude, I mean, she worked and worked. I was just like, dude, that's way too much work. And then she gave me a piece and I was like, and it's not any good. So I'm out. I've never.
Oh, you got to try king crab.
Yeah, I've tried a whole bunch of different stuff. I don't know. Maybe I should try it again because it's been years.
It's just king crab is one leg will fill you up, and it's a sweet meat.
Oh, I love it, man. My parents had their 50th anniversary last year at the end of the year, and we rented well, that's a side story. I cooked for them king crab, lobster, and filet mignon. And one big leg of king crab, you get a piece of meat bigger than your thumb, about 6 inches long. Oh,
yep.
Man, you dip that in some butter, little slice of heaven right there.
Brian, for you to cook for your family, for your mom and dad, does it not give you great joy to watch their faces when they're eating, and you just see them like enjoy everything? For me, that's the best part. I just love cooking food for people.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Breaking bread with family and friends. Yep. There's something rewarding about, putting a smile on people's faces when they eat something that's delicious, for sure.
But it's heartbreaking when they don't like it. I've had that happen before. And go ahead.
I mean, it happens. I mean, my mom's been trying to feed me broccoli my whole life, and I've never liked it. We've all got our foods we don't like. That's for sure.
Right. Kent Stamey's in the chat now. He's late. Late is better than never.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Oh no, that's bad. John Wayne, or I'm sorry, Bill H is getting a kayak. I got one sitting in my shed. I haven't pulled out. Actually, I sold one of them not too long ago, and then I got a 2-man, like a tandem one that I bought. We used it a couple times. It's sat in the shed ever since. It's just so heavy. It's almost 100 pounds, dude. But it'll hold like 680 pounds on it. I mean, you can have 2 of me on there and just go out to the ocean. I've taken that thing out 4 or 5 miles out in the water, go fishing before. You want to talk about fun? You take a beach rod and go out in a kayak and just drop a big chunk of fish off the side of your kayak.
Oh, yeah.
And next thing you know, you just start getting pulled and the reel's going zzz, and you start gaining some speed and you're just sitting there going, okay, it's not pulling any more drag. So you start reeling and then it takes off again and you just keep going up and down the beach. And yeah, that's interesting because you never know what you're going to pull up. If I see a shark on the end of it, I'm like, nice. Dunk. See you later. I'm out, dude. I am too far out in the water for me to be messing with a shark.
So has anybody ever combined windsurfing with kayaks? I don't know why I was thinking, we're all
kayaks
paraglider
do have, yeah, kayaks do have some of these guys that go out way out. I mean, the furthest I've ever been is about 4 or 5 miles out. I lost cell phone reception. Let's just say that. And I have a guy at work. He actually has a sail that mounts on the front of his kayak so that he doesn't have to paddle so much. Or coming back in, he can just use the wind instead of, because they have the paddle with their feet.
Mm-hmm.
They don't actually have the oars. And he has an oar, but he never uses it. He only paddles with his feet and then steers with the tail rotor. But he'll put his sail up and they just take off to go to the deeper water to go fishing, which is not for me. So, all right, what else
Walter
we got?
asks, why crabs? Walter wants to know why crabs. We have so much other crustaceans here in Australia. Prawns, crayfish, Moreton Bay bugs, they are the best. I would like to know what a Moreton Bay bug is.
Yes, me too.
And who he caught it from.
Yeah,
I may have to Google that real quick.
Did you have your mask on before you caught that or after?
Moreton Bay, huh?
She said that, or he said it's a cross between a large prawn and a small crayfish. So it's a medium prey prawn.
Yeah. Seahorses, basically, little baby seahorses. That's what they are.
Yeah, he's eating seahorses.
Walter, what is wrong with you? Oh man.
Well, prawn is a shrimp, right? I know what a crayfish is.
Yeah, we have crayfish here, but we don't call them prawn here. We call them shrimp. But actually, there are a different species of shrimp here they call prawn. They're supposed to be pretty big. Actually, when we were in Paris, I had heard about prawns, and on the menu was one appetizer, if you will. And the people we were staying with lived there, and he ordered up a whole smorgasbord for him. And I just kept letting everything pass by because all I wanted to do was try one of these prawns. Like everybody goes crazy about them. That was the only thing that didn't come. They apparently forgot about the order and didn't bring them. So I don't know if it was on purpose or an accident. All right, Sean, have a good night, sir. Thank you for all your help, by the way. Greatly appreciate it. I'd still be trying to figure out how to turn my computer on at this point.
Yeah, but y'all have a good one. Good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Hey, Sean.
Peace out, Sean.
Good night.
So anyways, Eric, you got any more questions about that smoking that chicken? It's so simple, dude, especially if you have the electric smoker. I mean, you don't get as much smoke flavor in them as you do a charcoal smoker. But like I said, if you're busy and you don't have time to monitor the temperature, electric smoker is the way to do it.
Does your
Yeah, I'm gonna
electric
have to
smoker
look at getting one.
What, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, electric smokers are awesome, but is yours high tech? Does it like have Bluetooth? Can you check it while you're flying and stuff?
Well, I have Bluetooth, but you got to be within like 30 feet of it or whatever. But yeah, I could turn the light on, change the temperature, check the probe temperature, all that.
That's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, I got, it's almost it's over a $300 smoker that was on clearance at Walmart for $140. So I picked 2 of them up and called my buddy up. I'm like, hey, do you want this other smoker? I got it in my cart. And he looked it up online. He's like, yeah, I'll be right there. And he actually sent his wife and his mother-in-law to come pick it up. He's like, thanks, man. And he's been using it ever since. He smokes everything in that thing.
Hey, JK Custom Car says, I just want to know how to cook good pulled pork.
Well, Brian and we actually, I mean, you have your way, which I actually enjoyed. I think yours turned out better than mine, to be honest with you.
Yeah, my butt was definitely better than your butt, man, for sure.
Yeah. No, I always give props where props is due. I will say, no, seriously, I think honestly, your butt.
I just like saying it. It's funny.
Yeah. I mean, I put your butt in my mouth all day long.
Oh my God.
That's crossing the line somewhere there.
Anyways, so I actually have a video where I did a 48-hour pork butt. I cold smoked it, which means you put it in the smoker, you keep the temperature down just high enough to smoke the chips. But I put a bag of ice over top of it so it really keeps the temperature down. So it heats the wood up enough to create smoke, but not enough to start cooking the meat. And then I took that smoke flavor that was on the meat, I seasoned it and vacuum sealed it, and then I stuck it in the sous vide machine for 48 hours at 140 degrees. I can't remember. But anyways, then when I got done, I just took it out, put it in a pan and shredded it. It just fell apart. It was probably my best pork butt I've ever done, even after cooking several on my charcoal smoker. But yeah, I guess, yeah, I'd have to say pork butts are my favorite when it comes to butts out of beef or pork. I'm still working on brisket, man. Brisket is a tough one for me. I don't know, Brian, you any good at making a brisket?
No, but I want to tell how I make my butts after, unless you want to change subject.
No, go ahead.
So yeah, we both have, I take a smoker with me everywhere I go when I travel on my camper. When I'm at home, I got a better one. It's electric with a digital type of thermostat and all that. It's nice. But when I'm traveling, my smaller one just runs off propane. So you got to be a little more careful with it. But generally with the butt, I put it in there. I put a dry rub on it just as much as I can get to stick to it. And I go ahead and throw it in there early while it's heating up. Let it start slowly cooking. Put as much wood chips on as I could smoke it with, and just cook it until the internal temperature gets to 160. And at that point, Shane was putting honey on it. I think he uses a combination of honey and butter sometimes.
Yes.
But putting the honey on it and then wrapping it with tinfoil to hold all that honey in and continue heating it until the internal temperatures. I used to go to 190, but he said go to 200. So I went to 200 on these last ones. Man, you pull it apart. And then after that, I pull it out and I let it slowly cool enough. I let it cool in the smoker just enough that I could put it in an ice chest on top of a towel without it melting the plastic or whatever. And then I just let, if I finish it by lunchtime, let it sit there for 2, 4, 5 hours, just sit there and slowly rest, pull it out, get your big old meat claws out, tear it up. Man, it's good. I smoked 2 of them on this last trip. I was in Florida for 2 weeks, and the first one was such a hit that they had me cook the second one. Same recipe. It was delicious.
Yeah, the
JK Custom Carbs wants to know what rub. What are you rubbing that? What are you rubbing your butt down with?
Yeah, let me get up and check. I can't remember the brand.
Right now it's pleather. Oh, right? That's the couch. Oh, sorry. All right, so I use Uncle Steve's well, actually, I started using Uncle Steve's competition pig powder. I'm not a rep for him, but I swear by his seasonings, and it's upped my game greatly by using his rubs for sure.
So the one I have been using is just something you can pick up at most local grocery stores. Is a Bad Byron's butt rub. I don't know if you can quite see that, but anyway, it's just a season. It's got a lot of pepper and stuff in it, and it's pretty good for sure. But I would like to try some more of that Shane had that he's talking about, the Uncle Steve's. I may have to maybe order some of that.
I'm fixing a screen share my pork butt that I sous vide as soon as I can figure out where to start at, because we don't need to see the whole process. Oh crap. We're going to try this. We're going to try to screen share this. So how do I don't see it on my, so how do you pull it from a YouTube? Do you know how to do that, Brian? Or no?
Yeah, I mean, I think
I got it. Yeah, I got it. I can figure out where to start at, because we don't need to see the whole process. Oh crap. So this is try this. We're going to try to screen share this. So why I got such a delay now? I don't see it on my. Do you guys hear a delay? YouTube. Do you know how to do that, Brian? Or no?
Yeah, it looks like you are doing it.
Right, but I hear a huge echo. So the whole process. All I'm doing here is draining the juices out of the meat. We're going to try to screen share this. Oh my god! I got such a delay now. I don't see it on my. Do you guys hear YouTube? Do you know how to do that?
I think you just need to mute your audio on the video that's playing on YouTube. It looks like you are doing it.
Right, but I hear a huge echo. So the whole process. All I'm doing here is draining the juice. All right, are we back to? I've got the TV muted. All right, we good now?
Yeah, I think we're good. I muted myself just to be sure.
Okay, so I took the sous vide or the pork butts out of. I didn't cold smoke them on this one. I'm sorry. This is another video. So what I did is I cooked them. I just seasoned them, cooked them, and then I put them in the smoker to get a little smoke flavor to them. So, are we good now? See, there it is, dude.
Yeah, I think we're good. I muted myself just to be sure.
Okay.
Oh,
so
that's a long way.
I took the sous vide or the pork butts out of. I didn't cold smoke them on this one. I'm sorry. This is another video. So what I did is I cooked them. I just seasoned them, cooked them, and then I put them in the smoker to get a little smoke flavor to them. So, are we good now? See, there it is, dude.
Yeah, I think we're good. I muted myself just to be sure.
Okay.
Oh,
so
that's a long is it on a loop?
The pork butts out of. I didn't cold smoke them on this one. I'm sorry. This is another video. So what I did is I cooked them. I just see. I don't know what that is. My TV's on mute. I'm on mute, so I don't know how the heck it's doing. I
was going to say stop sharing your screen. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's fine now.
It said the same thing.
Say, like that fell apart.
Well, we lost one viewer and then we picked up 3, so I'm not sure. Maybe it was good.
Yeah. Oh man, this running a show itself is not that good, not that easy. Just so you know, there's a lot Sean does we don't know, Brian. Just so you know, there is a lot.
Yeah, when he's sitting there posting all those links at the beginning, so it streams on all the different channels and podcasts and whatnot. Yeah, he's got a lot going on for sure. But
Walter says comedy cooking with Shane. Dude, my whole channel's comedy. I always make fun of myself, and I'm always that's me. Brian, you've met me in person. We've hung out for many days. Am I any different? This is me.
Well, you had more hair when I met you, but
And I need a haircut. What are you talking about? This is all frizzy. This humidity down here.
yeah, it's tough. Down in Florida last week, I was flying in shorts, man. It's 80 degrees. Now I'm in southern Alabama, and it's like 36 degrees and windy.
And JK Custom Carves. He wants to know if you guys do chicken wings.
Yep.
Do y'all ever fry them, sauce them, and then fish them on a grill? I only grill mine. I actually don't like eating fried chicken wings, or I prefer them on the grill. Me personally.
That being said, I have had some pretty good wings a couple of times. But one of my buddies, he used to smoke them in a smoker.
Yep.
For a couple hours anyway, while we were all drinking beers. And then he would pull them out, and they'd be about to fall apart when he pulls them off the smoker. And he would stick them in a deep fryer for just 30 seconds or so to crispen up the outside a little bit. I mean, it was a lot of work, but they were very good for sure.
I've only grilled mine. That's just how I prefer them over charcoal, and then I'll throw some wood chips in with the charcoal as I'm cooking them. But outside of that, yeah, I don't know, dude. Like Hooters, like I don't really care for their wings because they're fried. I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm thinking it's not good for the heart because it's fried food. I have no idea.
So what you say? You don't go to Hooters for the food?
No, I go for the short shorts and well, I don't know if you know or not, but it's called Hooters. But half the girls there are without Hooters. What?
Hooters sells wings.
Yeah, they sell wings, I think.
I actually have had some pretty dang good king crab at a Hooters one time. I never really liked their wings, but that king crab was seasonal for whatever reason, man. It was delicious.
You know
So
what?
you got crabs from Hooters?
Yeah.
Look, see what you did there. I like that.
Jade's smiling for once. She's like, "Oh, Brian got crabs from Hooters." Actually, they have a really good bacon cheeseburger there. I know I was just talking about worried about my heart and all, but that's a really good burger.
If you worry about your heart, man, you need to eat some beans. They're good for your heart.
Yeah, I do like beans. Actually, my wife makes a chili spaghetti. It's got some kidney beans in it. I think there's some kind of beans. I don't know. Then we have a friend of ours who makes a 5-bean. God, I don't even know what it's called. I have to steal her recipe. It's got hamburger meat in it. It's 5 different beans in it. It's freaking awesome. I can't get enough of it. So Mark Elroy says he smokes his wings, or he smokes them, sauces them, and then back in the smoker, then finish them in the oven on broil for just a minute. It's amazing how much work we'll put into a small piece of meat. Just like a chicken wing. You think of how much work goes into a chicken wing, and we're willing to go through all of that just for a chicken wing. 2 seconds. Cracks me up. Jade, you've been quiet tonight. You're not nervous, are you?
I am very nervous.
For what? We're just hanging out.
I know. I'm just listening.
Well, that's
I'm
Eric.
thinking
That's
of
what you say.
foods.
Eric, that's when you say that's a first. Just listening. Eric's like, nope. I'm not getting. It's too cold to be sleeping outside at night, isn't it?
Exactly. The dogs are inside from the doghouse. I'm not being out there by myself.
Oh man. Shoot. Well,
what about do you take a grill along, and do you ever do pizzas on a grill?
I've done a pizza on a Blackstone.
We saw that one.
How'd you
With
like
the
that
torch?
That's not a torch. This is a torch. I've used that same torch to burn my stupid. I've got I don't even know what it's a a shade thing that it's fabric that you stretch out. And my wife was next to the grill and I was doing something. I was holding it up out of the way. And then I was like, that's probably close to, and I was like, oh crap. And I had already burned a hole in it, burnt the material and everything. I was just like, all right. My wife's like, why'd you do that? I was like, I'm trying not to burn you. What's up, Red?
Say, hey, internet people out there.
How's he doing?
He's doing good. I went and snagged it for mom and dad real quick. I got Major here laying on the couch with me too. He's not too sure about the little active puppy. He's the old grumpy dog now with the puppy around.
I have to show you R2. If I can, I gotta take the background off.
Well, that one working hard right there. We're going to share this.
Oh, yeah, I think that's awesome.
Go.
So Mark Elroy wants to know when we all will be going to be flying. Well, when are we all going to be flying together? I believe that answer will be in May at Bad Apples.
Well, I thought it was earlier than that.
Well, there's a secret. There's a secret one.
Oh, okay.
I can't really say nothing right now, but
I hear you. It would be secret then.
Exactly. I wouldn't want those 14 people to run off and tell everybody. But yeah, I was invited to one a little sooner than that, but I don't know. I would assume we're all gonna probably meet up in, when is Bad Apples? May, and go from there. I would love to have flown out of Mark Elroy's driveway so I can get me 62 camera angles, because you know how he's got all the cameras all over the place.
Better hurry up. He's selling that house, man.
No, man. Only if I had me some money. I spend all my money on paramotor stuff and camping stuff, and what else do I spend money on? If you got to think about it, I'm not spending enough. All right. Gotta spend more money.
It's all camper stuff.
I know, we spend all our money on camper stuff. We always
taking battery and chargers.
That's not money.
Oh, they're free?
No, that just keeps me from yelling at everybody. Yeah, dude, every time I turn around, we're buying something for either. So what they don't tell you when you buy a camper is that you have to buy everything for your camper. You can't keep taking all your silverware, pots and pans from your house to your camper and then from your camper back to your house. So you end up having to buy new pots and pans and silverware, plates. Like, it's a whole nother house that you have to buy stuff for. Well, I've done that already. Now I went and bought I got a paratrailer for my paramotor, and now I'm learning that I got to buy stuff for that as well. And I'm like, oh man, dude, every time I turn around, I'm like, oh, I need this for one of the trailers, or I need that. I hate taking stuff from either the house to the camper or the camper to the house. If we run out of it in the house, you don't go and get it out of the camper. You go to the store and get more of it. Because what happens is you end up going camping, or you're in the house cooking and you run out of stuff, or you've taken it out of the house and it's in the camper, or vice versa. So I have this I'm kind of, I guess, anal about it. Don't take stuff from one to give to the other. You go and buy. If you didn't have the other camper, what would you do? You'd go and buy it. So go and buy it if you run out of it in your house. So now I have the paratrailer, and I don't like taking seasonings and stuff from one to the other. So now I have to buy more seasonings to put in there. Yeah, now I got to keep inventory on the 3 because I can't keep up now.
Oh, you got some big problems in life, man. I
Yeah.
tell you.
It sounds like Mark Elroy. He's had
Uh-huh.
8 times, or he's shown 8 times, and in the first 4 days, 2 possible interested. So yeah, I better drive up there this weekend if I wasn't camping, because if not, it's gonna be sold by then. That house is gorgeous, though. Just so you know.
I've seen
But
it in a bunch of videos. I haven't got to go visit yet.
But
He's,
it's in
it's too
Georgia,
bad.
though.
There's nothing wrong with Georgia, man.
Oh,
He's got a place for full hookups for campers there too, and place he flies out of his yard.
I just need a 110 in my
Yeah, me
Paris
too.
trailer.
I don't have the big old 50 amp hookup need, but you're right, man. Buying a camper, at least everything else. Yeah, I bought the camper, needed the truck to pull it. Then I needed the right motorcycle to hang off the back of it. A paramotor. I actually needed a plane that would fit in it, so that's how I got into paramotors. So it's kind of the domino effect sometimes.
Right.
Brian, what kind of camper do you have?
I bought a 2017 Winnebago. It's not a driver; it's a bumper pull, and that means it's basically got a ball in the back of the bumper that you pull it with.
Here we go.
I'm sorry, Walter. I couldn't help myself.
They call them caravans in Australia.
Yeah, it's one of the bigger bumper pulls. Every camper manufacturer has a different way of rating the size of a camper. Mine's 22 foot of indoor living space, so it's like almost 30 feet long on the outside. But I built a custom rack on the back of it, carry a little street legal dirt bike around with me as a backup vehicle. Get a generator in the back of my truck, a water tank in the back of my truck so I can go get water. I stayed a lot of national forests. I boondock, got solar, go about 2 weeks off the grid completely at a time, no problem.
Don't forget your inversion table in the back of your truck.
Yeah, that gets some funny looks.
It'd be even funnier if you're using it going down the road.
Haven't tried that yet. I need to find a driver.
Yeah, right. Any single ladies in the chat?
There you go.
Brian's like, let me scroll up real quick.
Yeah, exactly. I'm scrolling up. Like, no, I'm pretty sure it's all dudes. Yeah, dudes. No, we got Jade in the chat.
Well, we have Jade and we had Jules, but Jules married. That chick is everywhere, man. Every time I see a live or something, I go, there she is. I mean, I don't know what she does for work, but it isn't much. She's kind of like me.
All right, I gotta go put this puppy up. He's chewing up all my cords.
Oh, well, it'll be shocking when he gets to the center of it. JK Customs, email me please, because I do want to get one of your things done there. That dude has some great artwork. Do not want to leave. What? Oh, Walter is saying that I had to kick my visitors out. No, they're trying to get home before the ice storm and snow kicks in on Wednesday. So they left bright and early this morning. And, well, bright and early. I mean, 7:07 is when they were pulling out. Good thing. You know what? Good thing that I was behind them, because as soon as they got onto the main road, I realized that his camper door on his trailer was open. It wasn't latched. So all this stuff sitting in there just leaning up against the door. I guess it didn't latch correctly. So I pulled up next to him and told him his door was open. That could have been bad. I think he's got both of his e-bikes sitting right there by the door. So, yeah, they're like $2,200 a piece, brand new. Yeah. Let me follow behind that guy for a while. See how much money I can get out of that trailer falling out on the side of the road.
John Wayne said you guys are looking for single women here. John Wayne says, my wife said, give her a few days.
Oh, she wouldn't know what to do without you, John. Where's she gonna get her money from?
So when you guys go to fly-ins, are you guys gonna bring motorcycles or your little scooters along?
I'll bring my golf cart.
Golf cart?
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen it. We just bought last month we just bought a new golf cart, all custom done. My wife was, she always picks on me about spending money or whatever, but I was looking for a $2,000 or $3,000 golf cart. And then we just happened to drive by a car lot that had golf carts sitting out in front of it. And when I looked at the price tag, I was like, no, I was thinking a lot cheaper than this. And she's like, and then she does this thing where she's like, but I like these, which means this is what she wants. So instead of going to my bank account, I had to go to my bank and say, hello, I've worked here forever. I make this much money and here's my credit score. They're like, here you go. We'll give you some money. And I was like, well, thank you. And now I don't have a car payment. My wife doesn't have a car payment. I have a truck payment, but we now have a golf cart payment, which is awesome.
And it has 4 tires. You can't tip over.
No, God, no. Dude, the thing is, I want to say it's like almost 1,100 pounds. A standard golf cart is like 940 pounds with the 48 volt battery system. This one's got the bigger tires, rims and tires. It's jacked up. And I want to say it's right around 1,050 pounds to 1,100 or something like that. So yeah, that single axle trailer that I just bought, I didn't plan on buying a golf cart for it. I planned to put 3 paramotors in it, and that was about it. So now I got a golf cart. I can put 2 paramotors on the side and maybe one up front. Maybe I might have to take the cages off of them, but I can assure you, when it rains, the paramotors won't get wet again, because I've had that happen already.
Yeah. So Brian, when you were showing the video of the hams in the hangar, there was a 1-wheel. Is that yours?
Yes, guilty as charged. Yeah.
Oh,
Any hospital trips?
Yeah, they're actually pretty good for a guy with a bum leg like me to get around at fly-ins. Because I was limited on how much I could walk, but or bother my foot. But no, I got one. They wouldn't let us test drive them during training at Aviator. They were the #1 cause of injury in paramotor training, 1-wheels. So they wouldn't let us test drive them down there to the last day of class. And anyway, I ended up buying one. And we pretty much all got a story from a 1-wheel, if you have one, where we wiped out, hurt ourselves somewhat bad to moderately bad.
So
yeah,
I was taking Mark and Amy over to Cocoa Beach this past weekend, and we pull up to the light, and here comes a guy on a lawn chair on a 1-wheel coming across, and Mark was like, oh my God, that is so cool. I go, Brian Waller's been doing that for months. And he's like, I've never seen us. Like, he's got video of fly-ins and stuff where everybody's on the chair riding a 1-wheel. He goes, have you rode it? I go, nope. Well, I refuse to get on one of those. Why? Because I'm going to be the guy that snaps something on my body and I won't be able to fly for a while. And that will just be, I can't do it. I won't do it. I refuse. Not falling for it. Brian, you've asked me a couple times. I'm like, nope. JP asked me a couple times. I'm like, nope. I've gone to other fly-ins. They're like, hey, you could jump on that. Don't even want to stand on it, dude. I already know. I know me, and that thing's going to go, oh, I can go 17.5 miles an hour. Great. I'm going to try to go 17 3/4 mile an hour. What happens when you go to top speed, Brian?
It stops. You don't.
And, and then there you
They
go.
call it the full spread, the yard sale, where basically you come off of it and it's the full spread, man. You go down. You got road rash here, elbows, knees.
No warning either. It just stops.
Yeah,
That's a
they're
bad design.
notoriously dangerous. Now they have a feature
Yeah,
it's called tilt back, but go ahead, Jade.
Go ahead. Jade,
I
you
think she-
frozen?
Yeah, I had a phone call for work. No, Eric keeps saying, "Oh, we would do good on it because we snowboard," but I sometimes have one of those where the snowboard stops and I go flying like that too. So I'm not trying it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what they're actually designed for, but I know that a lot of snowboarders, skateboarders, surfers, and people that ride singular type boards like that, that's what they use in their off season to kind of keep those muscles going, you know, when they can't train. They ride on one wheels, and now there's all kind of competitions out there where they jump them and basically do hiking trails and stuff with them and race them. So it's pretty crazy, but everything we do in life is dangerous. But being at Lake Wells on this perfectly smooth asphalt, I mean, you couldn't get any smoother or flatter. And riding a chair on a one wheel while racing paramotors was pretty fun.
Yeah, and then you got to up the ante by paramotoring on top of a one wheel or taking off on a one wheel.
Oh yeah.
No.
But you gotta recognize though that the people in this video that were doing this, these are pilots that are on the Paradigm team, and if you hadn't heard of them, they're basically the Blue Angels of the paramotor group community. They go around putting on big shows at all the big fly-ins, so they're kind of the best of the best. So, but it's pretty fun to watch.
And much younger than us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot. So I just realized something. I don't know if this makes me dumb or what. So I don't get notifications anymore on like when someone subscribes to my channel or whatever. And I just happened to look over and realize that I'm at 488 on subscribers. I never even knew that. Last I seen it was like 475 or something. Where did these other guys, these other 13 people come from? Like I don't get any notifications that I've got. Makes me want. I don't get comments. Like I'll go through videos that I did and said, "Oh, there's a comment on there. I never even saw that. What did I do wrong? How did I mess that up?"
I don't know. Sometimes comments are hidden. You can only see them in YouTube Studio. But the subscribers thing, I'm not sure. I get the same thing. You know, sometimes I get notifications that there's somebody subscribed, and sometimes I don't.
That's just
480, huh? I'm catching you, man. I'll be there shortly.
Hey, you could pass me. I'm not here for that. I'm just here as a distraction of my daily life. But I mean, I only decided to do this, and I don't even want to. I'll be honest with you. I want to try to keep this 2 hours, an hour and a half, 2 hours, because honestly, I mean, you got Sunday night show, you got a Monday night show. Now there's a Tuesday night show, Wednesday night show, and then there's a Friday show for paramotors. And I'm like, dude, like my wife, God bless her, she lets me get away with murder. She does. I mean, she lets me do whatever I want. If I want to go somewhere to fly in, whatever, she's like, all right, see you later. But there are times she's like, hey, are you YouTubing again tonight? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, we haven't hung out for a couple weeks, for her and I or what have you. So I don't want to like even being 10 o'clock. I'd still get an hour of time with her, and that makes her happy. So I prefer not to go longer than 2 hours. Well, I'm not trying to say nothing funny. I'm just saying that woman is a saint in my book. I could have a woman that just nags me all the time. Jesus, all you do is watch YouTube. But every now and then she's like, hey, let's watch a movie together or whatever. So I prefer just not to go because Monday nights I have great time, but we were on till like 12:30 last night.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Wow. Y'all must have been on for over 2 hours after I left then. That's
I was
crazy.
tired.
Yeah, so was I. I went to work this morning. I just happened because I didn't go to work Monday. And then my wife turned the alarms off on Sunday because she knew I wasn't going to go to work Monday. Well, she forgot to turn those alarms back on for this morning. And I just happened to roll over. And I rolled over and looked at the window. I was like, that's a little brighter than it should be before the alarms go off. So I said, hey, what time is it? She's like, oh, it's 7:05. I did tell you that I left the house at 7:07, right? So I literally just bounced out of bed, threw clothes on, and just bolted out of the door. Thank God I have my own office at work. Like I have a toothbrush there and everything. I walk in, I'm like brushing my teeth and stuff, and everybody's like, what is that guy doing? I'm like, dude, I literally 7 minutes ago got out of bed. It only takes me 3 minutes to get to work. But if not, I'd have been late for work, and I don't like to be late for work. I could show up 30 minutes early. I'm fine with that. But 1 minute late, no one says nothing ever to me if I'm late. But dude, to me, I can't do it. I hate doing it. I feel bad. I don't have to feel bad about calling out sick, but showing up 1 minute late, can't do it.
Unless you're,
So
fly a paramotor, right?
What's that?
Unless you have to fly a paramotor.
Oh man, I've actually never called out to go fly a paramotor.
Really?
I have showed up at work and went, oh, it's totally flyable. Go pull up Ryan Carlton, pull up Windy, look at the local weather map. I'm like, I'm at work. I know I talk a lot of smack about not working, whatever. We do work a lot. We do have our downtime too. And when I do, I take advantage of it. And there's times we work and I don't get much downtime. So, but to leave work to go fly, I couldn't do it. I would want to. I do that all the time. Those guys at work, they look at me like I'm crazy because I look. How many times you guys get up in the morning, you look up at the clouds and you're like, oh man, it's flyable. Or you see low flying clouds and you just think, man, I can just go fly right up to that cloud and go over it and be hanging out above it. It'd be awesome. I do that every morning. Every single morning, I'm just walking through the parking lot looking at the clouds. I'm like, man, I got a serious problem with this paramotoring thing. It never dawns on me until in the morning when I'm walking to work and I just need to hit the lotto so I can walk out of my house and go, oh, it's flyable. I'm getting my paramotor and I'm going.
I totally get it, man. Last week in Aviator, I had last Tuesday and Wednesday. There was 2 mornings. The fog didn't rise and lift until about 9:30 a.m. And finally it opened up in the skies just a little bit and where we could maintain visibility to the ground. We climbed up above the clouds at about 1,500 feet, 2,000 feet. We're above them looking down at them, man, and did it 2 mornings in a row. Just the most incredible, surreal feeling being up there. You lose all sense of your altitude, your height above the clouds.
Yep. And
there's a video coming soon. I promise. It was a very cool experience.
I did this past weekend. We ended up doing a flight. The winds up high were, I was at 2,300 feet, and I was flying backwards. So I said, man, all right, I'm sorry. I was at 1,500 feet and flying backwards. So I just kept flying higher and higher and higher. Finally, I started making headwind. Well, what I didn't realize is when I turned around, and coming back to the airport, I was getting lower and lower as I was getting closer to the airport. I ended up on the Fly Sky High. I ended up doing 72.3 miles an hour on my paramotor. I didn't think now it did take me 32 minutes to go as far as I did. It took me about 4 minutes to get back. I didn't realize how fast I was going, but I knew I got back to the airport in a hurry. I was like, holy crap, I'm already back. But yeah, I didn't realize until I pulled the app up and saw it. I was like, wow, that's my personal best. You look at Mark Honeycutt did 109 miles an hour. That's not that far off. Not that I want to do that, but
he was pretty high though.
Yeah. I mean, I've gone to Ryan Carlton, looked at the winds. I mean, you get up to 40, 50 miles an hour on those on those upper airs. I'm not going up that way. No way.
How high do you have to climb?
No.
Roughly to get that normally. I mean,
six or 7,000 feet. 6 or 7. I mean, pull Ryan Carlton up. You'll see that the winds are ridiculous. The other day, about 2 weeks ago, it dropped a balmy 39 degrees here, and I got ready. I got ready to. I was thinking about going to fly, and I looked at 2,000 feet. It was -1 degree. So from the ground was 39, and you go up 2,000. It was a little over 2,000 feet, and it was negative. I was like, how does that even happen?
15 degrees per 1,000 feet.
Dude, it was ridiculous. I was like, I'm not going up there. And actually, when I flew at Wachula, there was 2 guys there going to 10,000 feet, and it was like 40 degrees that morning. And when I looked, I think it was maybe 15 degrees at 10,000 feet. I was like, I showed up in a pair of pants and a sweatshirt. That's not going to happen. No gloves, no nothing. I'm like, no. Both guys went up, did it, came back down. They're like, yeah, it was freezing up there, but we did it. I'm like, dude, I'll wait till the summertime and I'll go up there and it's 40 degrees when I get 10,000 feet. I'll be fine.
So you did take off the shorts and put on pants when it got that cold?
Yes. I actually prefer to fly in pants only if I have like a slip and fall when I land. That way you slide on one. I always slide on one knee. I've never like landed on my butt, but I've had like where you slide into like first or second base or whatever. I've had that happen a couple times, but yeah, I did it without pants on one time, and yeah, my legs hurt for a couple days of whatever scratched it on as I was sliding through the Palm Bay compound. So
yeah.
So
Mark,
Brian, oh, sorry.
Go ahead,
Go ahead.
Jake. Go ahead. Go.
Brian, so you're in Louisiana now?
Southeast corner of Alabama.
Oh, Alabama. Okay. So then when you're down at Aviator, are you doing interning there, or are you just visiting, or they allow you to fly or what?
Eric Farewell wishes. Yeah. No, I'm just down there hanging out. I went there for my training, and then I went back a few months later for my buddy's wife's training that went through it. And then
Okay.
I went back this last Thanksgiving because I fried turkeys for them the first time, so they invited me back. But no, I just go down there and camp. Eric's dad's got a place called the Chalet. I boondock with my camper and stay. It's about a 10-minute drive or flight from Lake Wales. It's pretty sweet deal. But no, I'm not doing any interning per se or going to work for them. I just go hang out and fly with them and see all the old instructors and stuff. And
Okay.
I really enjoy meeting the new students going through the classes too.
That's Jade's dream. She wants to retire and go down to Florida and intern down there.
You know, I know a lot of people that have been through it. The guest on our show last night, Clear Prop TV, Bill Dalbo, he is headed there right now. He's going to be interning in the next week or two.
See, I
So-
thought he was already doing his internship. That's why I was asking some questions, and then Kevin Can Fly said he wasn't yet.
No, he's starting with one of the next classes. The Aviator actually doesn't have a class this week or last week, and they're between classes. and they're shutting down their Denellen school, and they're combining the two schools back at Lake Wales, and they're gonna have all the instructors there and kind of have two different classes going on in tandem, offset by a week into one school.
See, that's why I asked the question also was, do they have separate shops? Because it seems like some of the videos, they're traveling, north up to different states. And I was just wondering if it's just for the Paradigm team or what that was about.
Not just. They actually had two remote schools over the summer. One was in Virginia and one was in Pennsylvania. All of their instructors are literally living out of a van down by the river. I mean, they've all got like ProMaster vans parked in the parking lot, or they've got a camper set up at the chalet or RV park. So they're all very mobile. And so they took that aspect of being able to be mobile and trying to, teach some schools on the road to get them away from Lake Wales. They did that this summer because the summer is just always so hot in Florida.
Right.
People don't really like to sign up for those July and August classes down there. So they took the opportunity to do that. They had, I think in Pennsylvania, they did the Balloon Fest thing at Paradigm, because all the instructors are also the Paradigm team too, basically.
Right.
There's a few outliers there, like Johnson Q, Tom Cubot, who's that other guy? Tucker somebody, he's on the team too. So it's a great. I'm sorry, Tucker. We know your last name, Mr. Gott. But no, it's a great group of folks, and they were looking at the idea of opening different schools in different places. So, but if you're a go-getter and you just show up and you're passionate about paramotors, they will take you in and give you a chance to share that love. So
I just got to get better myself first before that happens.
Jade, I've seen plenty of your takeoffs on film. You are good. I've never, every time you've even had a wobble in your wing, you've taken care of it and taken off. I mean, I think you need to be less hard on yourself. I've watched your videos. You're good in my book.
Yeah, she does do very well, and she hasn't eaten up any props, unlike me.
And let me tell you about aviators. So Eric and I have had many conversations during their on chats during the shows and stuff, and several times I've actually gone to Aviator to try to meet up with him, and he's either not there or left to do something, whatever. A couple weekends ago, I was there. I didn't even think about seeing if Eric was there. I just showed up to meet Craig Taylor again and fly with him. And I think we came back from our first flight, landed, and I was over by my truck, and here comes Eric on this one wheel. And he's like, Shane, finally we get to meet in person. And I was like, dude, you just left your class way over there. You know where the access gate is by the shop, Brian, and where they train on the other side of the runway. He came from all the way over there to say hi to me. I was thoroughly surprised and impressed by that guy, just to go out of his way, just to come over. And of course, when the COVID thing started, Eric was like at his house. He wouldn't leave. And so I stuck my hand out to give him a fist bump, and he goes, no, we hug around here. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I didn't want to, have him worried about whatever. And just a genuinely good guy. I didn't go to Aviators. Actually, when I went to go to school, I looked at Aviators, and I think it was 6 months out at the time from the time I could go to get to the earliest class. And I was like, I can't wait that long. So I ended up going to Four Winds, which I'm thoroughly pleased with. But Eric is a super nice guy. I cannot be more honored to have met him. I mean, just genuinely a good guy, and I hope the best for him and his family for sure.
JK Custom Cars asks, how many Alliance schools do they have now?
If that's directed to me, I'm not 100% certain. I know they do have Alliance schools. I think Midwest PPG up in the Indiana area is probably one of them, but I can't say for certain. the others. I think they have some out in the Midwest as well. Not really sure. I know at one point they were talking about opening up a school in the Tennessee area. So I don't know, what kind of progress they're making on that. I know they had just opened up the Danella school a year ago, and just over a year ago, and then COVID hit. I don't know if that's the reason that they'd shut that one down or not. I know they lost a few instructors recently too.
So why are they losing instructors? Can I ask that?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know. I think, people's lives change. They come there to teach, and they're really passionate about the sport. They learn some, quite honestly, I think it's pretty well known that a lot of them come there and learn and end up going somewhere else and starting up another school of their own. I think that's pretty common. Or people get, just want to start families, that kind of thing. Think their life circumstances change. A lot of them are younger, and a lot of them are just, a lot of instructors, I think, go there and are with the mindset of, they want to try this out and see how it fits. And
right.
You got some of the older veteran instructors around that have been there for a long time. And the one thing they have in common is they are very passionate about the sport, and they will drop everything they're doing, including flying that day, to help you get into the air. I've seen that personally quite a few times. So it's a pretty unique group of individuals.
I know that one night that Alexa was on one of the channels, the shows, her and I were talking off screen, and she had invited me to come down and try to do like a little bit of a refresher or get better, more comfortable, I should say, in the air. And is she with Lone Star, I think? So
yeah, and shout out to Mark H on the chat. He just listed all the affiliate schools. Fly in the chat. Fly My PPG. That's in Fly, Michigan. Lone Star Paramotors in Texas. Midwest PPG, I believe, is in Indiana or Iowa. I'm not positive. One Up Adventures is right beside Aviator in Lake Wales. And Paracosta, I'm not sure. Maybe Costa Rica. I'm not sure. That sounds right.
There's on their website, there's a list of them, he says. So I do find a lot of the pilots that go to Aviators is, nothing but positive about the school, about the instructors. I went there, I think the very first time I went there with Craig Taylor, I was having a little engine trouble getting it started or whatever. And one of the instructors came over, tinkered with my motor for 2 seconds and got it started. He's like, here you go. See you later. And I was just like, all right, cool. Thanks. Which runway do I not fly over again? Because I already forgot. And yeah, they're very helpful, very knowledgeable people. So hats off to them for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I just can't believe when you hear and you see it, watching all the instructors, they're very calm on the radios. I don't think I'd be very good as an instructor.
Me neither. I'm out.
No,
Yeah.
a lot of us aren't. We could be good at something and not good at relaying that to other people.
Right. I agree. Kent Stamey, well, how's his last name?
Stanley.
Anyways, when I met him at Vail, he was trying to kite, and I realized he was just hooked straight to his wing, not crisscrossed. And I was like, wait a minute, dude. I walked up, I said, hey, I don't know nothing about nothing when it comes to paramotor other than what I know about getting off the ground and landing. I said, but I do know you're hooked in wrong. And he's like, what do you mean? I've been doing this for 3 months this way. I was like, what? I was like, no. You got to cross your wings that way when you turn. Everything's right. If you're to get your wing up, kiting it, reverse launch it, and kite it, and you go to turn, now you're twisted. I was like, that's not going to work. So I ended up spending probably a good hour, hour and a half with him, but the whole time I kept telling him, dude, I don't know anything about this. Like, I'm not an instructor. I just learned to fly. I was within my first year, I believe it was still. I was like, dude, but I do know you're doing that part wrong. That part I can assure you. But it does make you look back at other schools and other people that have gone to school and see what they have, or should I say haven't learned. I'm not an expert by no means. I don't claim to be. I'm just good enough to get off the ground and good enough to land. And there are good schools out there. I've never said a bad thing about Four Winds. I've said bad things about myself while I was at Four Winds because I was beating myself up during kiting and stuff. I got in my own head, and once that happens, I shut down and I can't learn anything at that point. But Four Winds is a really good school. Actually, Lauren was affiliated, I guess, with Aviators at one point, and then they separated. But I've listened to Aviators teaching students, and I've heard the exact same thing at Four Winds. So I have no complaints about either one. I know that Eric has gone out of his way to just say hi to me, which impressed the hell out of me, if you will. Anytime I've called Lauren up and said, hey, I'm having this problem or this problem, he's taken the time out of his day to help me out. So, I mean, Brian, you're alumni of Aviators. I'm alumni of Four Winds. I agree with both schools from what I've seen and what I've done. So,
yeah, I hadn't met Shannon and Lauren, but I hear great things about them. Mainly from you. You talk good things about him all the time.
Yeah, that dude makes me scared to death to watch him fly. Dude, I can't remember what his Instagram page is. It's like Adrenaline to Fly or something like that. That dude is doing things on a paramotor that just don't seem like it's possible. And he's just like, he goes up there, does this whole routine and comes down, lands. He's like, all right, I'm ready to teach a class. The rest of us are like, I don't want to do any of that. Whatever you just did, I would do it, but not on purpose. It's gonna
that's not day one. That's day two. You're good.
Yeah. I'm gonna be sick tomorrow, just so you know. I can't come in.
Yeah. I tell you, I did my first reverse the other day.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I've been flying 15 months and I've never been in the conditions where I needed to do a reverse. You know, we did reverse kiting in class down at Lake Wales, you know. But so yeah, there's going to be a video coming of that soon. That was another one of those oh crap moments.
How did you like it?
Once I got the problems worked out, I was happy.
I mean, I love a reverse only because you can bring the wing up, everything's stable, and then you can turn. You know, everything's already over your head. I mean, when you take a forward launch, you have to look left to right, left to right, left to right, and make sure everything's good. But on a reverse, you bring the wing up and you're like, huh, that wing's just sitting there. Okay, time to turn. I just did one Monday morning. Actually had my first launch, reverse launch, was a failed launch. As soon as I turned around, the wing just dropped behind me. I was just like, really? So I set back up and took off the second time. But everybody in the group did I think there was 5 of us. Everybody in the group did a reverse launch. I was just like, all right. I would rather do a reverse launch than a forward launch just because of the simplicity of already having the wing overhead. And you know it's good, and then you just turn and go. But it does take a little getting used to.
So talking about instructors at Aviator and stuff, I'm there. Jim CR120, you probably heard of him, seen him in the chats and stuff.
Yep.
And he was an interim instructor there at the time when I was there. And I told him, I said, man, can you help me? I can't even really remember how to properly grab the brakes and tie in for a reverse. So he helped me and he got me going. He said, if I need to skip flying today, I will do that to help you get in the air. So he spent like, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes with me. helping me do reverse with a kiting harness on.
Right.
And then and then it went great. I put my motor on my back. I went and clipped in. I brought the wing up over my head. Here's a little spoiler alert. But I turn around. I'm wearing gloves. It's cold. And I look up at my wing. It's looking good. You know, I start moving forward. There's a pretty good little breeze, 7 or 8 miles an hour. So I could just do a little slow walk and watch the wing. It was ideal. Wearing gloves, once again, a little loss of dexterity. My first reverse. And I'm like, all right, things are looking good. Lean back, posture, power, a little bit of brakes. Oh shit. Something's wrong. I look over my left hand. I'm not holding the left brake anymore. And I look over, I said, something's not right. So I look over and okay, there it is. Grab it. Wing still looks good. Take off. Murphy hit, man. That brake line was wrapped like 3 times around my riser, in between all kinds. If it would have been pulled, I would have been locked into a left-hand turn on takeoff. But I got lucky. I just kept flying and I worked the problem. GoPro picked the whole thing up. Me sitting there working it out. Finally, I get it and I go fly and have fun. No big deal.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. I did the same thing. Well, I took
Freaked
off.
me out for a second.
Yeah, dude, when you realize that thing is wrapped a couple times, you're like, oh my God. So with mine, I just full throttle, just kept the throttle held, got in my seat. Yeah, I had already hadn't even been in my seat yet when I realized that my breaker's wrapped. So I got in my seat, full throttle, never let off that throttle the whole time, never looking forward either. I'm just looking at the brake, weaving it through the damn riser. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And got it. And it was like, oh, well, nothing's happened. You're still flying. It's all in your head. Once you realize,
just don't panic.
Yeah, it's when incidents like this happen, you got to learn to control your panic, which is hard to say when it's happening. It's easy to sit here and say it, but when I was flying after that, I was like, dude, I panicked over nothing. I actually have a video where I did my first engine out. I was probably 1,000 feet in the air, and I went to adjust my camera on my phone, and I hit the kill switch. And this video for me really showed me how quickly we go from calm, cool, collective to just all out panic mode. I couldn't get my brakes stowed quick enough. I couldn't get a hold of I start up my motor every time I reach and back grabbing my pull rope, but yet I was in such a panic that I couldn't grab it. Like I was just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then I had to grab the little string that's attached to it and then grab it and then pull start it. At this time I got my motor started, I was at 950. We're talking 30 seconds into my panic out, and I'm starting to fly. And I go, man, you panicked in a hurry. Like now I'm starting to analyze in my head. And then when I went home and I uploaded the video, I couldn't believe how quickly I panicked, but yet I might as well have been a mile high because I had all day long to get that motor started. I had LZs everywhere, but yet the motor stopped and I immediately went into panic mode. I was just like, I can't believe it. I was embarrassed. No one knew it. There was no one around. It was just me. But I know myself, and I know I went from calm, cool to just the world's gonna freaking come to an end right now. Why?
You don't know how you're going to react to any of those situations until you're really in them. Until you've been tested in a few of those situations, you really just don't know. Like I had no idea how I would behave after breaking a leg sideways. I know that I can keep my cool. I had no idea
very well.
what it's like to dive into the water for 50 feet and not panic and drown. And you're told all these things beforehand, but you don't know really how you're going to react until you get into those situations. Right. And every one of them I've been in is just convinced me that I handle those situations pretty well usually. Well, so I feel good about it.
This past weekend, my motor's not running for whatever reason. it was running perfect the last time I flew. Now it won't idle very well. And I was doing some wing overs and I was trying to lose altitude. And just when I get to the part where I'm like, all right, a little bit further and I'm good, my motor dies. But not in a panic. I realized I'm still at 700 or 800 feet. And I'm like, got all day now. I just reached back, grabbed it, started it up, climbed up, and I was like, the guy that was flying with me, he's like, did you just have a motor out? I was like, yep. No big deal. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Just another day in paradise, man.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
Nope. But there was a small part of me, a very small part of me that wanted to go panic. And I just can't. I won't let myself do it now. So yeah, if it's at 50 feet, you're screwed. But I was 700-800 feet in the air, dude. It's not if you ever go to 700-800 feet and just let off the throttle and coast down, start your timer. Yeah, start your timer because you're gonna be a while. You got all day to figure out what to do, where to land, how to do it. And we were in pretty strong winds the other day when that happened. And actually, Jade and Mark were there. And my LZ's right next to their trailer. And I'm sitting there and my motor's off. And I was like, I'm trying to land, but it won't let me down. And I just was sitting there. And they're looking at me. And everyone, the other guys that were there, they're like, do you want us to throw you a rope? Because I literally was just sitting there. I'm like, I'm trying to come down. I started doing a little pump of the brakes to try to lower. And that's the only reason I was able to come down where I was. I literally was sitting right in the same spot. And I wasn't going up or down. I was just literally sitting there.
Did you try big ears?
No, not that low. I was low. I was probably less than 70 feet from the ground. And it just wouldn't let me. I was just staying right in one spot. I actually thought about reaching over and hitting the trimmers to see if that would, but I was like, yeah, dude, I'm gonna mess with these things this close to the ground. So I just pumped the brakes a little bit, and every time I did it, I just dropped down a little bit lower, and finally I came and landed. But yeah, I had a conversation with them, literally had a conversation with them as I'm floating, because that's what it was. I was just sitting in one spot. I reached up, pulled my earmuffs off, motor was off, and I'm like, at some point I'll be down. Just give me a minute. If you guys get tired, just leave me. I'll probably still be here this afternoon. So yeah, it was pretty cool. It was first time that's ever happened to me. I've done the whole little land where you just boop, and then you turn around and kite. I've done that. But this was literally sitting in one spot, motor off. And I bet you it was probably over 40 seconds that I sat there and talked to them while I was floating. I wasn't going up. I wasn't going down. I sure wasn't going forward either. I was just sitting there. I was like, all right. I don't know what to do in that situation.
Cheapest hovercraft in the world right there, man.
Well, it's still a pretty expensive hovercraft.
Yeah, we practice. I've never done a reverse launch yet. I've done forward launch. We just don't really fly in that kind of weather.
How long you been flying there?
Yet?
You're saying 5 to 6 mile an hour winds that you do that in.
Yeah, I've been flying since. Well, let's see. I gotta show you something. End of May, I started last year. So just what, 6 months, 8 months, and right when I was finishing my last 5 flights with our instructor, I pulled a groin muscle and my leg was black and blue and I could barely walk. I mean, but I wanted to get through this and be done, because every time we go down to our instructor, it was a 3-hour trip. So we'd go down on a Friday night, stay in our camper at the airport, and then we would hightail it back home Sunday. And we'd try to get as much done. Of course, weather permitting, you never know what to expect. Right. So Jade, we were getting ready to order Jade's trike. And I just flat out at that point, I just said, you know what, let's get 2 trikes and be done. So I got a second, we ordered 2 trikes from Trike Buggies, and we ended up getting them. But at that point, we put them together. We took my foot launch unit and put it on the trike. And now we are flying trikes, and I've ordered a new motor because I want to put my foot launch back together because I want a foot launch now. So, but Viterazzi, I mean, we're going into month 3 to get a motor out to us. So we're still waiting, but I'm hoping very soon I'll see an engine here. But
You also,
I like
Eric,
going.
yeah.
I like doing the trikes, and I like the foot launch.
Eric, you have to remember too, I'm over on the beach side. So when we get high winds, say 10, up to 10 miles an hour, it's all laminar winds, you know? Yep. So it's inland winds. I mean, if it was 10 miles an hour at the compound, I wouldn't launch. That to me is just not right. But we're at Sebastian Airport, which is literally, there's river and then there's the ocean. So you're talking less than a mile from the ocean. So, I mean, when those winds are just constantly blowing, you may get a gust here and there, but majority of the day, it's literally just a constant breeze of warm tropic air.
What's that? Yeah, we get a lot of turbulence, you know. I know what you're doing.
I'm sitting there watching her going, yep, any minute now I'm gonna that middle finger.
Right.
You know, all you guys gotta do is just head south, you know.
Oh, we are. So check this out. Jade said, check out my Facebook page. And I did, and I thought she posted, you know, your thing. And I shared that. And then she goes, basically, you're an idiot. You need to look more into my Facebook page. But see, I'm not good enough to screen share, so I got to show you.
That from JK Custom Cars?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's been trying to hint heavily on here, Eric.
So
I've seen several of his works now. The guy does some good work. You know, it's impressive what he can do. You know, I understand.
Yeah, it looks nice.
And it even says Flying Flamingo on the frame. And I even had Eric wants to be known as Wile E. Coyote.
Well, to be known as Wile E. Coyote. It's just look what we fly. They look like the Wile E. Coyote flying machines.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive that we put an engine on our back and strap it into a bed sheet with a bunch of strings and run and take off into the sky. It's a pretty cool thing that we are able to do. And the perspective that we get flying above clouds and stuff, man.
Exactly. I had a customer today that, you know, we were kind of talking about, you know, asking them if something, I was asking them about being a pilot, and because they were. And I said, oh, that's really cool. You know, how do you like it? And he goes, oh, sometime I'll have to take you up and you can look. I said, well, you know, believe it or not, this is what I do. And I told him, he goes, you are crazy. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, hold on. My parachute's already inflated. That's all I had to say. He goes, yep, you're right. But yeah, it's unreal. And I think I've created a monster here sitting behind me, because all she does is everything now is paramotor. You know, and the thing is it is something that we love doing together.
Until he says, let's go fly. And then the hyperventilating starts again on me until I'm up in the air, and then I'm okay.
Do you still get nervous before every flight?
I do.
Yeah. My nerves get going a little bit. I don't know if it's my nerves or my heart rate's up a little bit. And I think that's totally normal. I mean, an aviator, one of the things they taught us was, you know, make sure you just, before you get ready to launch, compose yourself, take 3 or 4 deep breaths, don't get in a hurry. And there's something to that. I mean, you have to take that few extra seconds to compose yourself, and main thing is to not get in a hurry and skip checks. And
Right.
but yeah, I have the same thing, and I've had 100 flights. So
Yeah, every time I launch, I just wonder how much this is going to cost me.
yeah, what's going to happen this time?
No.
Exactly.
No, I every time I launch, I'm like, remember, you can't afford to replace crap, so do it right every single time.
Yeah,
Yeah, make it count.
No, seriously, I cannot afford. I cannot express you. I cannot afford a $350 prop. I cannot afford to have a prop. Oh, part of the prop go through the wing or something like. I just can't do it, dude. I'll be out for months, and it makes me sick to my stomach. I mean, I got into the sport. Just my wife, again, can't say enough about her. Good enough stuff about her, but she found money and made it happen for me, and it's truly been a lifesaver for me. And she knows it. I mean, she's scared to death for me, but I'm like, dude, there's no problem. No, those aren't wing overs. Those are altitude reduction moves. Those are not acro. Because I did make her a pinky promise that I would not do any kind of acro, which technically wing over what? It's to lose altitude, correct? Now,
Altitude reduction.
yes. So I haven't broken any promises. Now, the SB, that wasn't acro. That was learning how to control your wing and what the wing is going to do for you, what it can and can't do. Yeah, got a little crazy a time or two, but every time I've left the house to go to that, man, she's been like the night before. Oh my God. It's like a fungus. It just latches a hold of you and won't let go. The next morning, she's like, are you going? I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm up at 4:00 in the morning. I'm not going why would I leave at 4:00 in the morning? Oh man. Then she calls me nonstop. Everything okay? I'm like, oh, everything's fine. I've only had 2 flights or whatever. And she's like, okay, but are you okay? Yes, dear. Oh no, I died earlier. I'm just due for my last breath or something. I don't. What do you want from me? Like, yeah, everything's fine. But yeah, it's she's silly. Let's just say that.
Has she gone up in a tandem at all?
We were gonna try this weekend. Craig Taylor offered up a 4, and the winds and the rain this past weekend was not happening. This weekend coming up, we're camping. But I told her, I said, if Craig says, hey, this weekend's good, you're gonna have to pick what morning you want to get up at a buck crack of dawn, because we're gonna have to take an hour and 45-minute ride, go do this. So
hey, I'm not sure where Craig Taylor is at, man, but Eric's father, Bob, gives tandem flights all the time out of Lake Wells. I can hook you up with him.
Oh, all right. So Craig Taylor's done my logo, this one here on my wing.
Yeah.
He's done my flag. He got me this painting. It's like 2.5 by like foot tall canvas painting. Craig Taylor, for whatever reason, has decided to do many unnecessary nice things for me. And my wife is just absolutely in love with him. He thinks he's the nicest guy in the world. And
he's a great dude. I just got to meet him. Is he local down there though? I guess is the reason I said that.
No, he's in Nantucket. He lives in Nantucket, but he has a house here, there in Lake Wales. But he's going back, I believe, on the 28th. So she wants her tandem to be with him, and just because he's just a freaking awesome guy. So I just can't speak highly enough about that guy right there. I mean,
he touched my tip the other day.
Yeah, he did me too. He was the second one. Ripple was the first, then him.
He
You know,
wasn't my
once she
first.
goes up on a
He-
tandem,
What's
when
that?
she goes up on a tandem, you're going to be going right back to the bank.
No. So my wife, I have this. Well, she has this thing. Like I'm fixing to sell my motorcycle. 'Cause one, I don't ride it, and two, she won't ride it with me because she doesn't want us doing anything dangerous together. That way, we leave our daughter without a family. So, she will never go out with me, which I'm perfectly fine with. Craig told me he's like I want to take her up, and then I want you to fly next to us, and it'll be a whole little family thing, and I'm totally for it. Like I'm ready to do it, but she will not do anything dangerous to jeopardize her life, so that our daughter is parentless, if you will. So I don't worry her wanting to learn to fly. I really don't. I don't see her. She's not that type of person. She's not very, I guess, adventurous, if you will. She's not a daredevil, which I don't think this sport is a daredevilish sport. You make bad decisions, make you a daredevil, but not on purpose. But this sport is as safe as you make it, and I stand behind that 100%. If you do everything you're taught, and you're taught by someone who knows what the heck they're doing, nothing will ever happen to you unless it's a freak thing. Which, guess what? Driving to work, something can happen to you because of a freak thing. So, I mean, you hear about car pileups more than you hear about paramotor pilots landing roughly. That's my nice way of saying crashing. But all right, guys, it is past the 2-hour mark. I would like to end this thing, hopefully. And actually, we still have 13 people watching, which is pretty dang phenomenal for people wanting to watch me. And
Well, hey,
it must
I
be
guess it's
guys.
time for me to bail, man.
Yeah, dude. Brian, where can we find you at on YouTube?
ppgbrian.com.
All right. Eric, Jade, where can we find you guys?
I'm at Flying Flamingo Jade. Or, hang on, I gotta think of it. Help me out.
Paragirl.
Paramotorgirl.com.
.com. Actually, I knew that. Eric, we can find you on Jade's channel. Got it.
You got it. That's where you can find me.
He's got his own. He's trying, and I'm trying also.
Well, great. If you guys want to try this out sometime and have me as a co-host, let me know. We will do it. Brian.
Heck no, too much work.
It's not easy. Like I want to go on 30 minutes before to get everything right. And I'm like, I should have gone on 2 hours before because nothing's right. Oh my God, totally not easy. All right, thank you all. Thank you all for watching the show, and hope you guys learned something, whether it's cooking or paramotoring. Brian, Jade, Eric, thank you guys for helping me out tonight. Greatly appreciate it, because this is Sean Simons. I truly respect you for this, because this is not easy. All right, guys, I will see you 8 o'clock Eastern time next week. Peace
And it's
out.
one day closer to a warmer weather. Good night,
Oh
all.
yeah.
Peace out.
Bye,
Peace out.
guys. Peace.